Alright everybody, this is my very first video. This is my gear video in my preparation for the John Muir Trail. A friend of mine and myself were fortunate enough to get a wilderness pass from Yosemite so we could actually hike the trail. It's very difficult to get these things, and I'm super stoked that we have the ability to do this. The downside about this, however, is the time frame in which we were allowed to do this is greatly shortened than what we were expecting. So in fact, we have to leave here in a couple days to head up to Yosemite to start our hike. Now, with that being said, we had to make some adjustments to our gear and make things work out so we have all the things that are necessary. So I just kind of wanted to take a moment and go through my gear here and kind of explain what I have, why I have it, and just kind of my take on this. Now, before I get started on all of my gear, I do have to shout out to a few of the people on YouTube that I'm kind of drawing inspiration from, that have really kind of inspired me to not only do the trail, but know what gear that I need to have and what to expect kind of mentally to make this all happen. And so some of these people are some people that you probably have seen before. There's Darwin on the Trail. He is like monumental. He has hundreds of videos on all sorts of hikes. Darwin has insight on almost everything, and so he is a great inspiration of mine that I've watched. Another person that does great gear videos, especially for the John Muir Trail, and was instrumental on actually helping me fill out the application to get on the John Muir Trail, and that's Bigfoot. Bigfoot has an incredible gear video and hiking videos, so check out Bigfoot as well. There is Dixie Wanderlust. She answers all of the questions that you might be a little apprehensive to ask, and she has, again, great insight on gear and what a typical day on a trail may kind of look like, and she has great videos with that. And the next one is my boy. I like this guy just not because he doesn't do long distance hikes. He is like a weekend warrior kind of guy, and that's Dan Becker. Dan Becker has great videos out there. You have to check him out. He is so fantastic. And last but not least is actually a true actual friend of mine, and that's Starfish Hikes. So she has a couple videos out there, so check her out on those, and she has great insight. So without further ado, let me kind of go through my gear list. What I want to do is I'm going to start over here on this side with, these are all of the items that don't go into my base weight. These are things that I physically wear on the trail that don't go into the actual base weight. So let's kind of get started with this. I have my cheat sheet here with the things that I wear. So first and foremost, I have these, I've had them for years, these North Face pants. They're zip-off pants. They convert to shorts. So I have these zip-off pants. They're wonderful. They have the built-in belt with them, and I've had them for so many years that I don't even know what the actual type is, but they're fantastic. Next is an athletic synthetic shirt. This is from Walmart, so this is nothing fantastic. You don't have to, spend $1,000 on this thing. This is, I think, like a $5 shirt that I got from Walmart, short sleeve, that I'll be wearing on the trail. I have another one packed in my bag for like camp shirt. I have boxers, not boxer briefs, but straight up boxers. These are synthetic boxers from Bolter boxers. These are what I'm going to be wearing right here. I tried out many different types of socks, and the best sock that I found was the Wright sock. Wright, as in like the Wright brothers, W-R-I-G-H-T. Wright sock. These are the cool mesh 2s, so these are very lightweight. However, they feel really comfortable and I can hike all day and not get any blisters. Speaking of blisters and avoiding them, I have my Fresh Foam New Balance shoes. My Fresh Foam New Balance shoes. They have a hard toe, which is really important so they don't get cut and things like that when you walk across things. I have my Iowa State cap, and I have my synthetic buff that I wear on the trail. So this is really important. Now, a few other things that I carry with me that aren't included in the base weight is the jewelry that I'm wearing, so my wedding ring and my bracelets, as well as a wallet and some keys. With the wallet, I always carry my credit card, and for the John Muir Trail, I'm planning on carrying about $200 to $300 with me in cash, so I can make things happen in a pinch. So that is that. Now, also, I have 2 bags that I'm going to be carrying with me. These are going to be my ultra water protection for my insulin pump. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and even though the insulin pump is waterproof, I don't want to chance it. I can't have this thing fail on me on the trail. So I'm carrying 2 bags, so I'll be carrying this in my pocket, and I will double bag it for extra water protection. The last thing that isn't included in the base weight is my carbon fiber Cascade Mountain Tech trekking poles. So many hikers swear by Black Diamond brand, and I'm sure they're fantastic, and I tried them out at REI myself, and they're great. The downside about it is they are very expensive, and I'm trying to do this kind of on a budget. I'm not out to spend, $100 here, $100 there on things that I'm just really unsure about. These I've bought from Costco, of all places. And they are only a couple ounces more than a Black Diamond brand, carbon fiber, and these things only run me, I think, like $30, I think they were, for the trekking poles. So that is the things that I am carrying with me physically on the trail. Everything else is either going in my bag or I'll be strapping it to my bag of sorts. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about the bag. The bag, I bought a JanSport Equinox 60. I got a smoking deal from REI on it, so I know JanSport isn't one of those brands that you really think about when you think about lightweight backpacking. However, this bag weighs 3 pounds, and what I like about it is it's 60 liters, and it comes with all sorts of pockets and straps, and I really enjoy the fact that I can open it from the bottom end, so I can get my quick gear out of the bottom, and it has this really large front mouth pocket right here. I really enjoy this. Now, I did make a few modifications. I personally made some modifications with it. I added some straps and some Velcro right here so I can put on my trekking poles and they won't flop around. I put on little clips because I put on an extra bag here, and I have some carabiners on the top, as well as a few modifications on the front so I can use my Garmin. The downside of this bag is it didn't come with any hip pockets, so I did add some REI bought hip pockets on these. So I added 2 hip pockets on each side that I have, as well as my knife holder right here. But other than that, this was a great deal. Again, I didn't spend very much money. I think I got this thing for $75, in fact. And this is a 3-pound backpack. So it's not as light as some, but I feel for $75, this was a great alternative. Okay, now when I go through my gear here, what I'm talking about is I'm not talking about the most important to least important or anything like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to list it in the order in which I pack it into the bag itself. So the things that I mentioned first, like my sleeping bag and my tent, are going to the bottom. And then things just kind of stack on top of that, because I found that order is very important when packing a backpack. You can't just randomly throw things in there and expect things to work out. So the order, for me personally, is really important. So with that being said, I am going to start over here with my sleeping bag. Now, this is not my first choice of sleeping bag, mind you. I do have a UGQ quilt on order. But with COVID-19 and just UGQ, you have to order like almost 2 months in advance. I didn't allow myself enough time, and with the early start date that I got on my John Muir Trail, I had to make a backup plan. And so this is my backup plan. My backup plan is a Outdoor Vitals Storm Loft 30-degree bag. I want to go with a 20-degree bag, but I've got to take what I can get. So this is a 30-degree bag. It is ultra light. This is like just a little bit over 1 pound. I think it's like 1 pound, 2 ounces, I think. Something like that. So I got this Outdoor Vitals bag, and I packed that because it's a down quilt. I do have it in a waterproof Sea to Summit waterproof compressible bag. So I have my sleeping bag in a waterproof bag. Moving over one, this is my tent. This is one thing that I did kind of splurge, and I spent a little bit more money than I really anticipated. This is my tent, and this is a Hornet, a Nemo Hornet 2-person. So a Nemo Hornet was my my tent that I really wanted, just short of like, you know, a Dyneema duplex or something that you have to spend $1 bajillion on. This is my purchase of a Hornet 2-person, and again, this thing is crazy light. It's 2 pounds something total, and this is not a Nemo bag, but I do have it in just a compression sack that I had left over. So I have my Nemo 2-person tent. This is so these two things are going in the bottom of that. All right. Now, because I'm doing the John Muir Trail, this is the unavoidable beast that you must have right here. This is your bear canister. I went with the Bear Vault, the bigger version of it. The other version is it cuts off about there-ish. This is the big version, and even with the big version, I'm having difficulty fitting all my food for the days that I'm hiking in the bear canister itself. But you have to have a bear canister. It is a necessity on the trail. Now, to kind of get over that, what I'm also packing is a separate Nike, compressible backpack kind of bag. And so what I'm going to do is any kind of leftover food, I'm going to make sure it's in my backpack. I'm going to bury it deep, and then I'm going to subsidize food into my bear canister as soon as I can. I don't want to hike with food outside of the bear canister. It's not safe. So again, I need food. You can hear my co-host there barking at the door. So, squirrels must be afoot. All right, with the bear canister, I also have a spreadable knife. So I don't have to use my sharp knife. I have a spreadable serrated knife here. Spent like $1 on that thing. That's like super easy. Moving on. The next thing that I'm packing in here is my Thermarest ProLite sleep pad. So because I'm sleeping with a quilt, this will go underneath me when I sleep, and then I'll lay the quilt over top, and so this is what I am sleeping on. So this is my Thermarest, and it has a great R rating. You can get smaller ones and things like that, but I had it already before I even planned on doing this, so this is what I'm sticking with. Okay, next to that is my whole cook system. So cook system, let's start with the basic. I have my Rover Camel 1100 milliliter pot and lid. So I can cook in here, and I can transfer things over to the lid, and this comes all in its own carrying case. With that, I have my fuel. So my MSR fuel, notice how it's the mid-size, the 8-ounce size, and so I have my fuel. With that, I have my MSR Pocket Rocket 2. So this is a fantastic stove, and so this is what I have for my cooking. What else I have in my cook system is I have a mug. I have a Sea to Summit mug, not the cup, but the mug. So I have a collapsible mug right here, so that goes down to nothing. So I have my mug in here, as well as my cleaning system, which is both Scotch-Brite green scouring pads, and an Adobe pad. So that is my cleaning system. And then I have a Bic lighter, hot lips, so I can put the hot lips on the side of my cup and sip right here. If it's too hot for me to handle, I can sip right from my my cooking pot. And then I have my Snow Peak titanium spork. So very lightweight, very usable there. So that's my cook system. Sliding over to my camp clothes. Now, similar to my backpack, my sleeping bag, I don't want my clothes to get wet. So these are all protected again by a Sea to Summit waterproof compressible compression sack. So waterproof compressible. So in here, what I have is I have some Reebok running shorts, so I can maybe wear these on the trail if I really want to. Reebok running shorts. I have another synthetic Walmart purchased synthetic short sleeve shirt. I have a beanie. I have big wool mittens. I didn't have enough time to get smaller wool mittens. I understand that Z-Packs sells a great pair of mittens at kind of an affordable price, but I have these. I have Injinji socks, and I also have, I forget the brand, I think these are like Danish wool or company or something like that. Another wool sock. I have a long sleeve synthetic hooded shirt. So long sleeve hooded shirt, very lightweight. This extra pair of boxers, synthetic boxers. And then I have some New Balance running pants, so for the colder evenings and things like that, or if my sleeping bag just isn't quite as warm as I want it to be, I have something dry and warm that I can put on. And so those are all of my camp clothes right there. Okay. As I previously mentioned, I am a type 1 diabetic, which means that I am insulin dependent. I can't just control the whole thing with diet and things like that. I do need insulin. Now, I have to resupply myself with insulin on the trail. So with that and my insulin pump, I need some gear to go along with that. And so this section right here is all of my insulin gear. I hold it all in some plastic bags right here. And what I have in here is I have some Medtronic Mio pump. These are the ports that I put in, and these are the reservoirs that I put into the pump itself from my insulin. So I do have insulin, and what I also have is I have my Freestyle Libre 14-day blood sugar monitors. And so these are little injectable monitors that I put on the bottom of my arms, and so I can scan my arm and it will roughly tell me my blood sugar. I will be carrying a finger pricker as well to check my blood sugar in case that these things don't work. And then last but not least, I have this product that I found online. This is a Frio cooling pocket. And what this is a kind of like a crystalline gelatin inner cooling pocket. So what you do is you get this thing wet, you wring it out, you get all the water out of it, and what this does is this naturally cools. Now it's not going to be as cool as a refrigerator or something, so to speak, but it will get cooler than the ambient air. And so what I'm doing is I am taking my extra insulin and I am putting the vials into my Frio cooling pocket to keep it somewhat cool while I travel. You have to redo that every couple days. Okay, first aid. First aid. First aid, I have the basics. I have gauze pads. I have these big waterproof Band-Aids, and these are pretty much kind of go in conjunction with my insulin things. I kind of cover up my ports, and I cover up the blood sugar testing sites because a lot of times they get snagged on clothing, and I don't want to be ripping these things out left and right. I have to protect it, and so that's what those big bandages are for. Beyond that, I have triple antibiotic. I have some Preparation H in case some rashes and things like that start occurring. Ibuprofen. I have some allergy pills. I have basic fabric athletic tape. 2 rolls of duct tape, because if you can't duck it. I have Band-Aids of all sorts, and there's some blister things in there as well. I have some eye drops, and these are not pills. These are just Pepto-Bismol tablets. So any stomach issues or things like that, I can kind of address that. And so that kind of all goes into my first aid pouch. Moving on beyond that, these are all of my toiletries. So my toiletry bag, and here I have hand sanitizer. I have some foot powder. I could probably do without this, but I just don't want to have my feet being wet. Take care of your feet, people, if you don't know. Toilet tissue, some extra. I have some more packed, but I have some toilet tissue. I have toothpaste, a full toothbrush. Ooh, right? All you ultra lightweighters out there probably cut it off right there. I have a full toothbrush. Oh, you're all jealous. I have some lip balm, lip protection. I have some Wilderness Wash. This is Sea to Summit, and this is not only wash for my body. You can. This also doubles as wash for the cooking system as well. So you can wash pretty much everything with that. I have a mirror, tweezers, and a nail clippers, and then my super uptown. I'm going to try to stay freshly clean shaven on the trail, so I got some biodegradable shaving cream and a disposable razor that I am going to bring along as well. Oh, and last but not least is the dental floss, Glide dental floss, and then I also have a needle taped to the very back of it. So in case I need to do some sewing, like, you know, your pants rip or something like that, or something needs to be sewn in a pinch, this can work as a thread or whatever you need to sew. Okay, so that is a big bulk of it. The rest that goes in my main pouch is my electronics right here. I have a battery pack by Yellowman. I have various batteries. I have AA's and AAA's. Most of my batteries are rechargeable of my electronics. Most of my things are rechargeable. However, I have backups just in case. And then I have a double USB port to plug in, so when I go to town, it can be plugged in. And then I have various USB cables. One for my phone, so that's a Type-C, and then I have the other, just regular version. Also in my bag is I have my Adidas sandals. These are going to be my camp shoes. And then last but not least, I have my extra water system. So I have a large old Camelback that I used to have. I have the bladder from that, so I can hook my Sawyer to this. So my Sawyer can be plugged in right here, and I can use this as a water reservoir. I have my back flush system for my Sawyer as well. Okay, that is all the stuff that goes in my main pocket of the bag itself. Everything else either goes on like the top pockets, the side pouches, the front pocket, other things. So this is all in the main pocket itself. Everything else is just kind of bonus. Okay, so the top pocket, the very top. So again, it's quick access. So if I need it right away, I have it right away. And what I am talking about in that top pocket is I have an REI duck's back. This is a large, and so this is my rain cover for my pack in case we experience like a deluge for several days. I have a Patagonia Nano Puff, so this is my cold weather jacket. Again, because this is a down-filled, I have a bag for that, so in case my bag does get wet, I'm trying to protect it as best as I can. I have some nondescript rain pants. They pack inside themselves, so these are rain pants. And then I have my Outdoor Research Helium 2. So this is one of those things that I kind of bought the top of the line item on, so I spent some money on my Helium 2 rain jacket. So that is my extreme weather gear, if you will. Okay, on that front pocket, that long pocket that I was showing you, comes the next few items. I have a waterproof map case by Outdoor Research. Outdoor Research, I am not exactly sure what size this is. This is the large or something. And this is my map case. So inside the map case goes maps. I'm a firm believer that you should have paper copies of whatever you're doing. So like in the off chance that all technology goes down or something like that, or your phone can't get charged, you can figure it out. You have the ability to do it. So I have paper copies of what we're doing right here, so I will never be out in the cold. I have a compass to go along. A compass, I have a notepad, I have a pencil, a marker to mark on the map, and big letter one over here. Have my water system, which is a Sawyer Mini. I have some other gear. This is like waterproof matches. This is my glycogon, so this is when, if I have a diabetic attack, this will bring me back to life. Backup water purification, bleach, and some extra rope. I have some insect repellent. This is the lotion. Okay, so lotion. And these are my hip pockets. I have toilet paper, my phone, and this is a prickless-free blood sugar monitor. I have a camera, which is being filmed right now. I have a tripod. I have my Black Diamond Revolt and some glucose tabs. Trowel for digging poop holes. Head net. This is all in an outside pocket. And this is where I put used toilet paper. Multi-tool. Garmin InReach Mini. This is the Nemo tent poles and stakes. Smart water bottles. Z-seat. I personally sewn a Z-seat holder, a towel, and a Nemo mesh thing so the towel can dry on the outside part of my pack. Alright, so thank you for watching. Hopefully this kind of inspires you to go out there and enjoy the outdoors without spending thousands of dollars.